Hi grandkids. I was not going to do a video this soon, but I've been thinking about you all day and I've had some thoughts come to my mind. So we'll talk about it today. First of all, I want to show you, see if I can do this without messing it up. Oh, I wanted to turn the phone around, but maybe it won't let me do it while I'm doing a video. I'm sitting here by the grandkids tree. Let me turn it around and you can see it. It's waiting for you. I've bought quite a few new ornaments, and the Shirley kids know about those because they were here to help me pick them out. And there's tons of presents under the tree, and those are all, I think they're all going to go to the cabin, so you'll see them soon enough. But you'll see the tree when you come back to my place after we go to the cabin. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about doing hard things. And the reason I want to talk to you about that is because I had to do a hard thing this week, and it wasn't very fun, but I had to do it. And sometimes we have to do hard things even if we don't want to. Well, the hard thing I had to do was I had to go to the doctor. Now, sometimes doctors, it's not that big of a deal to go to the doctor. But this time I had to go, and let me show you, because he kind of gave me a owie on my hand, that's for sure. Anyway, right here. Ooh, I hope you can see that. The light is kind of messing it up. Got a Band-Aid on there right now, but I'm going to take my Band-Aid off and I'm going to show you what the doctor did to me. I had to go to a doctor that is called a dermatologist, and a dermatologist is a doctor, a skin doctor. And sometimes we get things on our skin that are not very good for us, and a lot of it has to do with just being out in the sun. And when you get older like me and you have freckles skin like me, then sometimes the sun isn't your best friend. And sometimes if you spend too much time in the sun, or you're just been in the sun for a lot of days, then you end up with some things on your skin that aren't very good for you, and that could actually turn into cancer if you don't take care of them. So I went to the doctor on Tuesday. Had to go all the way up to St. George because that's where my skin doctor is. And I knew he needed to take this spot off of my hand because it didn't look normal. It looked kind of different, and I kind of know what to look for when you've got some things on your skin that don't look normal. So anyway, he took it off, and it's really ugly now. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm trying to do this so that the light doesn't cause problems. But it's a real big, ugly thing, and I hope this doesn't gross you out. But anyway, it's trying to get better, and oh golly, what he did is he first gave me a bunch of little shots right there in my hand. And the reason he did that is because he was going to numb it, which means it just kind of deadens the skin so you can't feel it. And it's kind of like if you touch your your hand there, you wouldn't be able, if you pinched your hand, you wouldn't even be able to feel it. So that medicine kind of takes away all the feeling, which is good, because when he can get in there and dig out that spot on my hand, he uses this long stick that has a razor blade, like that, to cut your skin. It has a razor blade on the end. And so after he deadens the skin with the medicine, then he goes in and it deadens your skin immediately. I mean, really, really quickly, like in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And then he went in and he started scraping the sore out of my hand. And I was really grateful that I had the shot of medicine, even though no one really likes shots. And some people really don't like shots. I don't like them, but I'm not really afraid of them like some people are. So I was really grateful that I got the shot, because it deadened the skin. So when he did go in and use the knife and the razor blade on my hand to dig out the sore, I didn't feel it at all. So I was really grateful for the medicine, even though he had to give me a bunch of little shots. So that was kind of hard for me. And now the sore is gone, and I don't think I think it's okay, and it's not going to be bad. It's not going to turn into anything bad. But it still was kind of hard because I knew I had to, get shots and have that thing dug out with a kind of a knife thingy. So yeah, that was kind of hard. But so I've been thinking about you guys and maybe some hard things that you have to do, or maybe even some hard things that you've gone through. Now, this last year, I had a couple surgeries. I had my appendix burst, which meant they had to go in and get it out, and they had to clean out all the poison that was in there too because it burst. And I know some of you know what that feels like, or at least one of you does. And then the other surgery I had is they had to take out another body part of mine that was big, and it could have been poisonous, and they found out that it wasn't, but I still had to have it taken out because it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was not good. It had to come out. So that was not very fun, and it was hard, and it wasn't hard to have the surgery really because I was asleep and I didn't even feel anything. But after surgery, that's the hard part, because you're cut open and they've sewn you up and you can't move, and it hurts to cough, it hurts to sneeze, it hurts to get up out of bed, it hurts, for quite a long time. So that was kind of hard. I've been through a few hard things this last year, and but some of you guys have too, and some of you are dealing with different hard things. Now we know that Evie just had surgery, and that was probably hard for her. I know when I was there and she had to get up and they wanted her to get up and walk, that was really hard for her, and it hurt. It really hurt, and sometimes things that hurt are really, really hard. But there's other hard things that we go through. And Levi knows what it feels like to have surgery. I didn't have surgery till I was 58 years old. So I didn't have any surgeries before that. Just last year when I was 58 years old, that was my first surgery. But some of you have had surgery and you're not before you were even 8 years old. That's hard. That's really hard. And some of you, maybe, even those that haven't had surgery yet, you probably will have surgery sometime in your life. So you'll know what it's like. And actually, it'll probably help you to think about me and going through surgeries, or maybe Everly or Levi, and Aunt Connie, those people that have had surgeries. It'll help you think about those people when you go through surgeries. So, but there's other things that you go through that are hard. Maybe it's something like being teased at school, and that's really hard because it makes you sad. And you want everybody to treat you right. Maybe math is hard for you, and math was always hard for me. It's still hard for me. I'm so glad I don't have to take math classes, but it's really hard. It was really hard for me, and maybe math is hard for you. So that's something hard that you're going through. Maybe oh golly, there's all kinds of hard things that we go through. Maybe it's hard because people, treat you kind of differently, or they haven't included you in a group of friends, or maybe your body doesn't work like you really wish it did. There's just a lot of hard things that we go through. But you know what? Sometimes it's good to go through hard things. And I really think that Heavenly Father wants us to go through hard things. And it makes us stronger. Not muscle stronger, but stronger, like we just get better at going through hard things. If we never went through hard things, I'm not sure if we'd grow inside as much as we need to. And, even Heavenly Father has gone through hard things. He's had to go through some hard things. He had to kick Satan out of heaven. And Satan was his son. And it was the son that he loved. he probably still loves Satan, but he had to kick him out because he wouldn't obey the rules. He wanted to make his own plan, and that wasn't going to work for Heavenly Father. And he became so angry. Satan became so angry that he was just going to make everybody miserable. And Heavenly Father had to kick him out of his heavenly home. That had to be hard. The other hard thing that I can think of that Heavenly Father had to do was to watch his other son be nailed to a cross. And I think sometimes we don't even think about that. We don't really understand what that means, to be nailed to a cross. Now, when I went to the doctor last week, or a couple days ago actually, and I got those shots in my hand before they did this, took that spot out, those were tiny, tiny needles, little tiny needles. And you know what that feels like, because you all had shots, and that hurts. But can you imagine the difference between a little tiny needle that hurts and nails? Big nails. And these aren't nails like the nails that your dad uses. These are big, thick, fat nails, because that's what they needed to use to hold Jesus' body up on the cross. I'll bet that was pretty hard for Heavenly Father to watch his son be nailed to a cross. We don't think about that sometimes. So, hard things aren't very fun, but I think they're good for us sometimes. And I think I can think of 2 reasons why we should maybe go through hard things. And one of them is because it makes us stronger, makes us, grow a little bit. And the more we go through hard things, the more we grow. The other thing that I really believe is good about going through hard things is that it helps us to think of other people. There's people out there that go through way harder things than I do. And even when I was in the hospital and I was recovering from my surgery, I would lay in bed, and even though it hurt to sneeze, oh golly, it hurt to cough, it hurt to sit up, it hurt to try and walk, I always thought of what other people had to go through that are way worse than that. And maybe they're like that all the time, or they go through even harder things. So sometimes those things are good. Well, I'm glad we had this conversation, because I think it's good for everybody to understand that even though we go through hard things and they're not fun at the time, that most hard things and hard times go away and become better. You could become better things and better times. When I was in the hospital, I knew that I'd get better. And so I kind of looked forward to that. When you have someone at school that isn't treating you very nicely and you wish they would, things will probably get better. Maybe not for that person. Maybe you'll never be, maybe that person will never be really nice to you, but you'll move on to another grade, to another school maybe, and things will get better. And the key is to just make sure that you are nice to other people. You do your best. That's a whole nother video. We'll do that another time. Anyway, I'm really excited to see all of you. The cabin's going to be fun. And it snowed yesterday, so that should be fun. I'm not sure how much snow, but there'll be some maybe. Anyway, and I love you all, and I want you to be happy, and just know that Grandpa and I love you so much, and know that you can do hard things. See ya.